Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Monday. Today we are going to be going over how to print a shipping label when shipping out your reptiles. Now, this is kind of continuing on with our theme of how to sell your animals and now how to ship them. Printing the shipping label can be kind of confusing and I wanted to make a video talking about it. Next week, I'm going to be showing you how to actually package up a shipment. But the video got to be too long when I did both together, so I decided to split them up into two videos. But that's okay. Gives us a little bit more time to talk about how ShipYourReptiles and these companies work. Basically, they are a third-party shipper for FedEx. You can't package up an animal and then take it directly to FedEx to ship it. You have to go through a third party like this, and that's where ShipYourReptiles comes in. Now, you don't have to use ShipYourReptiles. There are other companies out there. The main one I can think of is like Reptiles to You. But I've always had a good customer experience through ShipYourReptiles, and I've never had an issue with any of their products. So this is just where I go, but you don't have to follow this. If you don't want to, you can check out some other places if you would like to. Making an account through ShipYourReptiles is very easy. They're just going to ask you for an email, a password, and basically a username, and I think that's it. So once you log in, you're going to come to a page like this. You'll notice there's a couple different tabs at top. So you have Book a Shipment. That's where you'll actually print a label. You have Free Quote, which is good if you are going to be charging different rates for shipping, like depending on where people live. I personally charge a flat rate, so this doesn't really apply to me. But let's say, for example, you lived in Wisconsin, where I do, and you're going to ship to people in California. Maybe you want to charge them $60, but people that live in Illinois, you're going to charge them $30. You can estimate by the size of your package, how much it weighs, and where you're shipping it from and where it's going to. So you can give a free quote like that. It's pretty nice. You can also buy shipping supplies from ShipYourReptiles, and I buy all my supplies through here. I buy all my boxes, cryo packs, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, though, I understand a lot of you are not going to be shipping out probably a large amount of animals at one time. So ShipYourReptiles only offers boxes in case format, meaning you're going to pay a larger amount up front, but you're going to get a bunch of boxes. So like I use a lot of 7x7x6 boxes. So a case of them is like $55, but you're going to have 15 of them. And a lot of you probably don't need that. So I did come up with a little trick. You can go to PangeaReptiles.com, which a lot of you should hopefully know. And they do sell individual boxes. You can see some of them are out of stock, but you can buy individual boxes. They're going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're getting 1 or 2 boxes instead of 15. But back to ShipYourReptiles, they also do the insurance tab. Now there's a lot of information on this tab. I'm not going to read through it all. This is basically all their policies, all that kind of stuff. I would urge you actually to come and read this on your own because this is going to be the meat and potatoes of shipping, understanding all this live arrival, all the on-time stuff, the guarantees. And if you still don't get what you need, there is a very nice Get Help tab. And there's just a lot of information on their website. They have pretty much everything you need when it comes to shipping your reptiles, and any questions you may have, I guarantee you can find it on their website. Or at the very least, you can always contact customer service and ask them if you have something that's not on their site. But you can see here, taking a look at some of the testimonials, there's a lot of big people in the gecko community that go through ShipYourReptiles, like Pangea, AC Reptiles, Altitude Exotics. And that's probably just to name a few of them. So ShipYourReptiles is, reliable, and they are a good company to go through. But moving on, let's go back to the Book a Shipment tab here. So this is going to be where you actually print a real label. So you're going to have some information at the top here, and then you're going to come down and you're going to see the ship from side and the ship to side. The ship from side is going to be all your information, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, and then your phone number. The ship to side is the exact same thing. This is going to be your customer's information. So you're going to put in first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, that kind of deal. A nice little trick is that you can get weather right on this page. So I put in my zip code here. You can see it is 51 degrees today according to this. So that's really nice when you're shipping out multiple shipments. You can check the weather real quick and make sure that it's still going to be safe. So another thing here is on the side, it'll show you the weather from the hubs. Basically, when you ship an animal, it's going to go through a couple major hubs depending on where it's going in the country. So you can check the weather there too and see what it is, if it's going to be too hot or too cold. So now that we've got that out of the way, below that, what you have is you have your package dimensions. Now this is going to be very important that you do this correctly. A lot of the boxes, like we just looked at, said that they're 7x7x6, but that may not be their actual true size. You got to measure them. I would put a box together and measure it and see how big it is and then fill it in. The reason being, if you make it too small and then FedEx says, hey, this box is actually a 7 by 8 by 7, you're going to get a charge to your account because you said it was something that it wasn't. And I've actually had this happen to me. Lesson learned, I paid like a $16 fee, I think, because I said it was too small. So now I do all my boxes as 7 by 7 by 7 when I'm shipping those 7 by 7 by 6s. Weight's also an important one. You're going to want to round up. So if it's like 1.5 pounds, I would just do 2 pounds. If it's less than a pound to a pound, that kind of deal. Generally speaking, one crested gecko in a 7 by 7 by 6 box with a cryo pack, I always do 1 pound, and I haven't had any problems with that. But that's just something to keep in mind. Make sure you do this correctly so that way you don't get any additional charges to your account. Merchandise description, just put in what you have. So a crested gecko. Below that, we have our live arrival insurance. Unfortunately, this isn't what it always looks like, but due to the pandemic that we currently have going on, insurance is a little bit tricky. I'd definitely check out the insurance page that we were looking at before, their critical information page, to get some information on that. Next up, we have our additional services. This is basically just saying, do you want a signature? Do you want the customer to get FedEx notifications so you can have your email in here? Additional email. Then you can put an additional email in, which is where you'd put your customers if you want them to get the FedEx updates. Next up, we have our donations to USARK. They fight for all our reptile rights, our shipping rights, our, people want to ban certain reptiles. They go to court, they fight this stuff. I always recommend donating at least a little bit. You can donate as little as 50 cents. It's up to you whether or not you want to do that, but they do fight for all our reptile rights. So the scenario we just went through, I was showing you how to ship to someone's home address. But now let's say, for example, a customer wanted to have a package held at a FedEx facility. Well, you have to type in their zip code here, and this is going to bring up all the available FedEx locations. So the only zip code I know off the top of my head, besides my own, is Beverly Hills for some reason. So we're going to put that in here. We'll see what comes up. So it's going to give you all these different FedEx locations you can ship to. These are actual FedEx ship centers. So you can see there's quite a few different options here. But I'm going to show you guys another little trick just to make sure that those are the right place. So it's the same information, basically just first name, last name, and the customer's phone number. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at the FedEx Locator. This is a very handy tool. And this is something you're going to also need when shipping your reptiles out if someone wants it held at a FedEx facility. So the same kind of deal, you're going to put in your zip code that you're going to be shipping to. So in this case, Beverly Hills, California. It's going to show you a bunch of different FedEx locations, but these are not correct. You need to make sure you check that you're going to have it held at location and that it's dangerous goods shipping, because live animals by FedEx's terms are considered dangerous goods. And then it should bring up a list of all the same FedEx locations that we were just looking at. So what we can do is we can go ahead and delete this. We'll put the zip code back in, the 90210, and then it should give us a list with all the same FedEx locations. And you might want to just double check. So yep, these look like all the same locations. And you can see here those are correct. So this would mean that we can ship to any of these different locations and have it held for pickup. Now what I would do to be nice is get your customer's address, put it into Google Maps, and then put how far away each of these is from their house, and obviously pick the closest one unless they specify that they want it sent to a specific one. They'd definitely appreciate you choosing one that's closer to your house. Like, for example, the nearest FedEx ship station to me personally is an hour away, which sucks. So, pick one that's closer to their house. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Then you'll just come down, you'll hit save and package. It's going to bring you through ShipYourReptiles terms of service. Basically, you're going to have to say, yes, I agree to your terms. And then it's going to bring you to the payment page. You'll pay for your label through PayPal. And then from there, you'll be able to either email your label or you'll be able to print it. And I personally don't print my labels on any sort of specific paper. Like, I don't print on sticker paper, although you could probably do that. I just print on regular, old, white printer paper, cut it out, tape it on your box, that sort of deal. So that's basically just a quick run through of how to use ShipYourReptiles to print a label. If you have any questions, I would definitely recommend checking out their help section. ShipYourReptiles has a phenomenal website when it comes to trying to get answers to your questions. They have a whole list, probably like 50 different frequently asked questions that you can check out if you have specific detail that you're looking for. Otherwise, if you can't find anything there, you can always leave a comment down below. I will try my best to answer you. But it's pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. And most people worry about it more than, it's probably necessary. I remember being very worried when I sent out my first crested gecko years ago. And I still have not had any problems with Ship Your Reptiles or DOAs or anything like that. So that's about it for our Ship Your Reptiles video. Be on the lookout. I'll be showing you how to package crested geckos next week, Monday. And that's going to be a separate video, so that'll be part 2 to this one. Anyway, if you found this video was helpful, please drop a like on the video. It always helps out, boost the video up so more people see it, and it also helps my channel out. And you would be doing me a favor, and I would appreciate it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week.